Just from the name alone. I could tell. Hi guys, welcome to Lee Reacts. Hope everyone's having a good day. I know I am. We are back with, here we go. The West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. There you go. Nailed it. We're going to their album Volume 2, Breaking Through, which was released in October of 1967 on Reprise Records. Apparently they were a big band back in the day. Apparently it said something about like they were like a Birds-esque folk rock, or kind of rock, not trio, but you know, group, and then they also had like Broke pop and avant-garde stuff as well. So I'm with it, man. Apparently they were very political, very experimental. Obviously, it's in the name, and they're very psychedelic. So I'm with it. Let's go. The track we're listening to is called Buddha. It's off that album I said, Volume 2. This is a request from our new patron. Hold on, it's Rikard, I believe. Let me make double sure. Yes, Rikard. Thank you for joining, Rikard. I appreciate you, man. And no, don't worry. If you join Patreon, don't ever feel like you're adding too many requests on me. I'm good. Don't worry. I don't care if I've got to do 12 videos a day. I'll get it done. All right. So, yeah, Buddha. Let's do it. Sorry, Sun Tzu. Okay. Buddha by the West Coast Pop Art Experimental Band. In 3, 2, 1, go.
You have a perfectly round tongue, painted green.
Bob Markley on vocals.
And a fountain, and a mountain, and a tunnel for me to follow, and a door inside your mind that you won't open.
Wow,
You're
man.
so beautiful and naive with bells on. Give me fantasy. Tell me my dreams. I want so hard to please you. Too many times I see everything just the way it is. Let me in, I'll give you candy.
That sound is crazy.
Let me in, I'll give you avocados.
What the fuck?
That's much more than most people have to offer.
It's true.
You have a perfectly round tongue, painted green, and a fountain, and a mountain, and a tunnel for me to follow, and a door inside your mind that you won't open.
Dude, this is awesome.
You're so beautiful and naive with bells on. Give me fantasy, tell me my dreams.
I can't. This is 67. Wow.
Too many times, I see everything just the way it is. You have a perfectly round tongue, painted green.
I will never forget that line. That's funny.
And a fountain, and a mountain, and a tunnel for me to follow, and a door inside your mind that you won't open.
That's such a true line, man.
You're so beautiful and naive.
Why couldn't I keep going, bro? Oh, no. That's so infuriating. It's like 2 minutes long. You can't just do that, man. You can't just have an amazing song and it just go like that. That was awesome. Thank you, Rikard. So it was Bob Markley on vocals, Danny Harris on vocals and electric guitar, Ron Morgan on electric guitar, but he was uncredited for some reason. Sean Harris on vocals and bass guitar, and Jim Gordon or Hal Blaine on drums. No shit. Yep, Derek and the Dominoes, a convicted murderer. Oh man, oh, that's a rabbit hole I can't go down on YouTube, but you guys already know. But Hal Blaine's pretty cool. Hal Blaine's a beast, bro. Obviously, so is Jim in his own way. Man, how do you even categorize that? It's definitely an experimental, psychedelic kind of, I would say, like, yeah, the Birds-esque kind of, like, the rock sound of it is very birdsy in a way, but the vocals aren't, and then, like, that whole, I don't know, like, mandolin, or I don't know what that was, if it was, like, a harp or a mandolin, whatever it was a very interesting sound, and whatever they were using to get those sort of strange foreign elements they were using to, like, pair up with the actual rock song, which is pretty. That drummer, man, I don't know. I'm guessing that was Hal Blaine. It doesn't say who played on what. I'm gonna guess that was Hal Blaine. But man, yeah, him and the bass player who was Sean Harris was the bassist. They were rock steady, bro. I've been using that that combo of words. I heard someone say that. I was like, wow, that is a good combo of words. I'm gonna borrow that. Yeah, they were doing great. Like, it was only in like the left channel you could hear it, and then in the other side it was the experimental kind of stuff. So that was very cool. They split the sound down the middle. I like the vocals a lot, actually. The lyrics were a little nonsensical at points, but I think that was kind of the point. It was very, I don't know, psychedelic sounding and based, the lyrics. And then talking about, doors in your mind that you won't open. And boy, don't get me started on that. I guess you can call it like a memory palace or whatever. We have our unconscious does all kinds of stuff, and we have no idea. We think we know all these things about human nature and what's actually going on and all that. We don't have a clue, man. I think the people a long time ago had a clue, but now we just call that like mythology, and we call it folklore and stuff like that. And I'm not discrediting anything, and I'm not saying that stuff's right either, but I feel like they had a better grasp of things than we do. We see things just so black and white, there's really no room for nuance or logic or reasoning anymore, or that both sides have points or a thing. It's either you're this or you're that. It's either one or two. I don't know, sometimes it's zero. You never know. But yeah, there's definitely doors in your mind that they're old doors. You keep walking down that just endless hallway. Some of you know what I'm talking about. For me, it's like a old Victorian style mansion. I had dreams of it when I was a kid too, before I even knew about any of this stuff and like lucid dreaming and astral projection and all that stuff. I didn't even know about it. I went there when I was a kid, and I was very scared by it at first because I saw a reflection. I remember the dream, and I remember I told my mom I had a bad dream, or I told my teacher or something, and I had to go to the guidance counselor to talk about it. I went to like a Christian school, so they were very proactive on things like that. And and I remember just like walking up these steps. I went to the room to the right. I remember it was the house was very old. It was dark. It wasn't dirty though. It looked clean, but like there was a gigantic mirror in one of the rooms, and I went and I looked and I saw what looked like an evil version of myself, and that has all kinds of symbolism and stuff. It don't really matter, but I just remember that. And then when I went and future things happened, I started tripping and started messing around with my brain and such, and doing different things. I went back, and it was that same place. And I feel like it's a real place in the world. I feel like it's an actual house somewhere, because it's too detailed for it not to be. It has to be like a ancestral memory, or like an old family home from down like in the generations or something. And we've just been lied to about everything, I feel like. And not even lied to. They tell you half the truth, and then like they omit half of it as well. I don't know what you would call that exactly, but they do tell some of the truth. They tell what would be the description of it? They kind of tell you the not the reference, what's the word? See, that's kind of like disproving my point at this point. They tell you like the broad framework of things, but they'll change details and such, to fit whatever, I hate using the word narrative, but whatever narrative that, they have to follow. And that goes for history. That goes for everything, I've got lots of theories about America itself, the continent. And, I think there was a gigantic war that was fought here over this continent, and we just, they tell it in a different way. But I think there's a lot of things in our very young country's history that don't make sense. If you really get into the nitty gritty, if you get into the weeds on this stuff, there's a lot of things that don't add up with like the late 1700s, early 1800s, and just the things that we have, the buildings that they found, some of the architecture. Like, there was definitely people who lived here. They try to, I think, categorize them as savages and such, but I think they were a thriving civilization, just like the British were, and there was a war that was fought for this land, and they just tell you it just in a different way. They're telling you the truth, kind of, but they don't tell you everything, the things that actually matter and that would lead and connect to other points. But I'm done hijacking this video on that. Sorry. I'd say that I really liked the experimental parts of this. It's more of a, I don't know. I liked the way they split it. I liked the whole bass and drums in the left and the psychedelic kind of trippy stuff in the right. And then his vocals, I went down both sides, I think. And I don't know. I really liked his cadence, the lyrics that went with it. And obviously, if it inspired such like two, I probably just talked for like a minute and a half about just whatever, you know, like that's the good stuff is when it inspires me to actually talk about things. And, you know, sometimes I listen to stuff on here and it's a great song, but it doesn't, what's the word, resonate, you know. It's definitely like technically great and I can appreciate what good things about it, but it doesn't like, I don't know, pique my interest. I guess that's what it would be. But stuff like this does, because I like talking about things that I don't know, most people don't like to talk about, because I find normal conversation boring. My girlfriend probably hates that. I'm always talking about crazy shit. She's like, so, you know, how's the weather outside? I'm like, did you know the CIA? You know, stuff like that. And I'm not even like one of those people. You know, I know I can separate. I can separate fact from fiction, and I can also, you know, hold two thoughts in my mind and not believe one of them. You know, that's the sign of a good mind. It's always I've always been inquisitive, let's say, and that's what I think that's the key to any young person's mind, is always stay asking questions. Always ask why. Doesn't matter who, when, what, or where. It matters why. Always matters why. Never forget that. If there's any young people watching, I doubt it. This band's from like 1965. If there's someone young watching, they're probably 10 years older than me. So it's cool, man. I'm the young guy in the group. I always have been. You guys have great music. I can't help it. I got to hang out with y'all. Y'all are pretty cool. Can I come back next week? All right, cool. Thank you again to our patron Rikard for another, well, not even, no, that was your first pick. So thank you for a great pick, and I expect even better ones next month. Okay, sir? Okay. Patreon right there. Ooh, that's a picture of it. There's a link in the description. Join the $15 tier up. You get one free request a month. Join any of the tiers. Get access to all of our Black videos and full album reactions. There's a lot of stuff on there. The Beatles, King Crimson, Blind Faith, you name it. It's on there. No, not really, but there's probably like 12 different bands, got full albums, all kinds of stuff. It's worth it. And you get access to our patrons only Discord if you want to come hang out, chat with us as well. And there's a PayPal as well in the description if you want to send a tip or request in that way. I'm out. See y'all later. Bye-bye.